Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to make this video. Of course, the election was yesterday, and of course now we have Donald Trump for president. My worst nightmare, literally, actually came true. Um, I just, like I said last night, I got up early yesterday, went and voted before I went to work. I went to work, and I was fully confident, that Hillary Clinton would win. I just thought for a long time that there's just no way the American people would actually vote Donald Trump into office. But boy, was I wrong, and boy, do I think the media was wrong and got it wrong. And I think all the pollsters got it wrong as well. And I think part of it was that people, I think part of it is that people exactly that actually voted for Donald Trump didn't want to admit that they were going to vote for him. I think that was a large part of it. I think, and a large part of it also is I think people just didn't like Hillary Clinton. She had high negatives. I think that was also a factor in it. I think, and also I think a large percentage of people just don't want a woman to be elected president. I think that is a part of it, maybe not a big part of it, but I think I did think that did play a part in it. And I also thought, that, like I said, I think the media basically, I, I think they actually, I think they played a part in it too, as well. Like I said, covering Donald Trump, giving him all that free publicity, making him, basically covering him like he's a normal candidate, even when he said all this racist stuff, all this xenophobic stuff, all the hateful stuff, making fun of disabled people, all that stuff. They made it normal. All the deplorable things that he did, the corporate media made it seem normal, and that, and and he did bring out the angry vote, and I think a large part of it was people were pissed off, at the establishment. I think they were, and so of course I think they voted against, you know, and then also I think a large percentage of the people, again, I think this has to do with the Democratic Party has to take a hit for this as well, because I think a lot of people who did vote for Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders, let's face it, he raised a lot of money and he galvanized a lot of young people to come out there, and he had a message and a vision. And then when all these secrets came out, that all these leaked emails came out, and you found out that how the Democratic Party kind of stacked the deck against him, I think a lot of people resented that, and a lot of people. I think I even saw the hashtag tons of times. Anybody but Hillary. A lot of people. I think a lot of the Bernie Sanders people that Bernie Sanders, even though Bernie Sanders, fell in line and campaigned for Hillary, I think a lot of his voters just say, you know what, I'm still not voting for her because I don't trust her. And they thought she was a corporate, with all her speeches to Wall Street. And I think a lot of people just, like I said, she had a high negative factor. A lot of people didn't think she was trustworthy and stuff. Now I didn't think she was the perfect candidate, not by a long shot. Okay, generally I hate politicians to begin with. I think usually for the most part, they're in it only for themselves. Okay, I think there's few and far between politicians actually get in it to want to actually serve the public good. But there are some politicians that are like that. But I think a lot of people wanted to shake up the establishment. I think they did want to do that, because she didn't just lose. I think she just. I mean, it seemed to me, because I kept peeking in periodically during the night. I didn't want to, focus on it. I was trying to watch other things, but it just seems like every time I kept turning it, she was behind and behind and behind. And then I think finally after 11 o'clock, I think she was up to like 204. She had like her first lead that I saw. She's up like 204 delegates, and Trump had like 178. And then all of a sudden, they said he won Ohio, and then I said, oh, and then they said he won Florida, and that's when I said, you know what? And his thing shot up to like 224, I think. I said, you know what? I think that's it, because if she, when they said that she lost Florida, I said, I don't think she's making a comeback. And like I said, I went to bed, turned off the TV, and I said to myself, and I was tossing and turning. I have to be perfectly honest. I had a hard time sleeping last night. I was tossing and turning, thinking that maybe there's a way that she won. Maybe I'll wake up and she actually pull a rabbit out of her hat and she actually won. But no, she didn't. I turned on the TV and it showed that you see his smug face there making his victory speech, but I didn't even turn it to look. And I understand that she didn't come out last night. Of course, she had to be devastated. I mean, she worked all her life for this moment, and she thought it was in her grasp. And I'm sure all the polls and stuff, and all the pundits saying that she was leading him in all the polls and stuff, even with the FBI, coming out with that thing 8 days ago about the emails. I think she was fully confident, and I was fully confident. I thought she was going to win. I thought the American people, no way they're going to elect this, this crazy person to be president in the United States, but they did. I guess I underestimated, and I guess, like I said, the media underestimated the anger that really is out there. But I'm sorry. There's no way in the world I could vote. I could vote for Donald Trump. I'm sorry. There's just no way in the world. I mean, people are entitled to their vote, but I'm sorry. The man is just despicable, in my opinion. I'm sorry. He is. He's shown that he, in all these instances, that he's a deplorable person, and the fact that he's the president of the United States really makes me sad and depressed, and really makes me, ashamed of my country. It really does. Really, I understand, people are angry and all that stuff, but I'm sorry. The man is distinctly just not, I'm sorry. To me, he will never be qualified to be president. I mean, he is president, so you basically have to put up with him for the next 4 years, and hopefully it is just 4 years, and somebody, the Democrats have to get their act together. They really do. They have to pick somebody young and progressive, okay, this time, and actually not try to rig the system against, to have the corporate candidate, get the nomination, okay, like they did with Bernie, with Hillary, trying to basically rig it for Hillary Clinton. So Bernie Sanders, who actually did make an impact and got young people excited and got young people out and voting and stuff, and then to only get crushed, under the DNC and their backroom politics and stuff, really, so they really have nobody to blame but themselves for this. I do feel for Hillary Clinton as a person, because that she's worked for this all her life, and this was her moment, supposedly. I'm sure she thought the White House was in her grasp, and to have it just, last night just seemed like it went just downhill all night, except for that one peak moment, I think, at around 11 o'clock, and then just went downhill again. And and the fact that she had to make that concession call to him, and I know that had to be a killer. And I know they said she came out today at 12 o'clock, had a press conference and all that stuff. I'll probably watch that later just to see how she looks. But I know she had to be devastated. And I was thinking that maybe she should have came out last night to the Javits Center and told her people, thank them and stuff. But I know she's probably just emotionally devastated. And so I could understand her not going out there. And I can, now that I think about it, she's just probably mostly devastated, because she worked all her life in politics to get to that one moment, and then just to have it, snatched away. First Barack Obama took it away from her in 2008, and then Donald Trump took it from her. So she's absolutely devastated, beyond devastated. But like I said, the DNC, hopefully they'll get smart and reassess and get progressive and realize that by stacking the deck, okay, against a progressive candidate like Bernie Sanders was, they really doomed themselves. I was a loyal Democrat, and I thought maybe Bernie Sanders, maybe he should have. Well, they shouldn't have stacked the deck against him, because he actually brought out young voters and got the party energized in a way that you haven't seen in a long time. But he had the deck firmly stacked against him, mostly by the DNC, which basically they shot themselves in the foot, and so they have nobody to blame but themselves for this. And hopefully, if they're smart and they reassess and let their party become more progressive, okay, and actually listen to the people, okay, you have another candidate that comes out there that actually galvanizes the people and actually gets them interested in politics. Don't try to stack the deck against that person and try to pick a corporate candidate. Okay, you can't do that. You're going to have to appeal to the people. You're going to have to get somebody that goes out there on the grassroots like Bernie Sanders and shake hands and get people excited. Okay, that's the only way I think you're going to win the White House back, because let's just be honest, Trump is not getting everything. He's not building a wall. Okay, he's not deporting 11 million people. Okay, and of course he's not stopping ISIS like that in day one. Come on, be realistic. Okay, Donald Trump will be lucky he gets some of that stuff done. Which, come on. Like I was telling my stepfather, we were talking about it. Okay, the reality is when they sit him in that room in the White House and they come in there and they actually tell him this is how the way it's gonna be. Okay, you can make all your blustery speeches, but this is the reality. If you want to get stuff done in Washington, you're gonna have to go through the Congress. Okay, you can make all the speeches you want to, but unless the Congress signs off on it, you're not getting that stuff done. Okay, that's just politics 101, and he's gonna get a real big dose of that once after he's signed, after his inauguration, and he sits in there when they have that first cabinet meeting and they tell him exactly how it is, how Speaker of the House doesn't want to speak, and they're not going to let his whatever policies he has. They're not going to push it through. Okay, so he'll learn, and he'll be just another politician. And hopefully, just 4 years will just hopefully fly by, and hopefully we'll get somebody young and progressive out there to run for the Democratic Party and actually make a change. Actually, this time get money out of politics and actually care about the people. Hopefully that will happen. And just right now, we're just gonna have to grin and bear it, unfortunately, because he is the president-elect, which I should even say that just has a horrible taste in my mouth. Anyway, I just wanted to vent and get that all out. So anyway, feel free to leave your comments down below. Even if you disagree with me, just leave a comment and let me know how you feel. Like I said, maybe you voted for Donald Trump and you're happy. But like I said, I have to be honest, I'm a little depressed, and like I said, I couldn't hardly sleep last night. But like I said, life goes on. Nothing's gonna really change in my day-to-day anyway, really. But it just really saddens me that we could elect such a horrible person. I'm sorry, nobody's gonna ever convince me he's a decent human being. He's a horrible person. Okay, and the fact that we elected a horrible person as president of the free world just really depresses me. Okay, but again, we got to move on. So I'm sure this will go away after a while. The weekend I'll go see a movie and forget about politics and all that other stuff. Okay. Anyway, feel free to leave comments down below, everybody. This is Paul saying so long, and take care.